without spending extra money. These apps are free for you. You just need to follow some simple steps. All the inappropriate stuff, sometimes risking their lives. Pornography is very dangerous for young minds. Why don't you stop that from happening, right? Before it's too late. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Know My UC. In this video, we will talk about parental control on your home internet. So I'll use Shaw Internet as an example. If you're using Shaw Internet, then how you can block inappropriate contents, how you can set time limits or bedtimes without spending extra money. These apps are free for you. You just need to follow some simple steps and configure your app so all the inappropriate stuff that is very dangerous for young minds, you can block all of that from your house. But if you're using Rogers, Sestel, or any other internet, they all have similar apps. We will be making more videos about each internet provider, but this video is about Shaw, and Rogers have the same app. It's called the Rogers Xfinity app. Why do we need parental control for your internet? Internet is filled with billions and billions of images and videos of very dangerous, poisonous to young minds. So if there's no restriction, your young children, they are watching all the inappropriate stuff, sometimes risking their lives. So if you want to raise healthy children and healthy adults, make sure you have these parental controls in place, which is good for your long-term mental and physical health. Pornography is very dangerous for young minds. It creates distorted sense of reality. It creates unrealistic expectations in young minds. So overexposure of these sexual images, they are like poison for young minds. They desensitize their sexual desires. So when they grow up, they will have difficulty forming relationships. They will not be able to find pleasure in natural things. They will develop depression and mental health problems. So it's very easy in this time, it's very easy to control these contents so your young minds can grow up in a healthy environment. There is a lot of violent and degrading contents available online, and young people watching these kind of things, they develop behavior issues. So why don't you stop that from happening, right? Before it's too late. Okay, the first thing you have to do is install the app. So depending on your phone, if you have Apple phone, you can go to App Store. If you have Android, you can go to Play Store. So I'll go to Play Store, which is what I'm using. And you have to go to search. Rogers Xfinity. Okay, so now you see two options. The first one is Rogers Xfinity. So if you're using Rogers Internet, you use this option. But if you're using Shaw Internet, which is what I'm using, I'll use the second option, which is Rogers Xfinity Shaw. So click on that and then install the app. So wait for the app to finish installing. Okay, so once it's ready, you can just open it. Perfect. So you are now on the sign in page, the first screen, and from here you can sign into the app. So to sign in, you will use the same email and password that you use for your online Shaw services. So my Shaw account, so same email address as your Shaw ID and same password that you will use to log into this app. Okay, so I have entered my email ID and my password, and now it's time to sign in. Just say allow. So you are on the overview tab as soon as you log in. Okay, so the purpose of this tutorial is how to set up some time limits and how to block some inappropriate contents from your home internet for your family. So I will only focus on the areas that we need for this setup. So click on Wi-Fi at the bottom. You see different options: overview, Wi-Fi, home, and account. So click on Wi-Fi. Okay, so you are on the Wi-Fi page. You are showing online, no issue with your service. Now to add a new person, you see people and plus icon. So click on plus. So let's say dad, add a person.
look at this screen again, I will now see manage one person because system knows there's one person has been added. I can add more person, but for now, let's go look at the settings for dad's profile. Okay, so here's the profile for the dad, and you can assign devices to dad. If you know the devices, so normally device ID or device name, you can find it from your device itself. If it's a phone, if it's a laptop, every device has a name. So you can go to the settings and find the name of your device, and then you come here. Okay, so no device found. So I say assign devices, and here's the list of all the devices that are connected to my home internet. So I can say these two for the dad. So here I also have the option that I can pause all devices. Let's say there's a family gathering or there's some special family moment, you want to pause all the devices. You can do that for each profile using pause all devices option. Now let's go back to the Wi-Fi tab again, and here we will add a new person. This time it's mom. Add person. So let's do one more. Add child 1. So you can name your child as per your family, but I'm just using generic names so that apply to everyone. Okay, what I will also do is I will also create a profile like for shared devices. So I will say home. So this will have all the devices, like let's say a TV in the family room, right? So this profile will manage all the devices that are shared by the family. Okay, let's create one more profile for visitors. Visitors, guests coming to my house. Okay, so all the profiles have been created. You can add more profiles as per your needs, but this is just to show you the typical profiles that everyone needs. Okay, so let's set up and manage your child's profile first. So the steps I will show you here, they apply to all the profiles. So I will do it for child, but you can do it for the rest of your profiles. Let's go manage 5 people. Click on that to see all the list. Click on child 1. So no devices found, so that's fine. We are doing it for the first time. So click assign devices. And because I know the names, I will just select them, but you can find the names in the list. Green means they are currently connected, and this gray means they are not, but they have been sometime before. So let's go select 2 devices. So you just assign both the phone and the laptop of your child to the child's profile. Now let's go view the child's profile. Okay, so using the profile screen, you can also pause all the devices for your profile. I say pause all devices. I can say until I unpause, or you can say just for half an hour or 1 hour, and you can decide the timing, and I will just say 30 minutes and pause. So after 30 minutes it will unpause itself. Okay, let's go back to child's profile, and you can see it's paused, so that's good. And now on the top I have the settings button. So if I click on settings right beside the child name or the profile name, here you will see some options to create a bedtime or downtime. But first thing I want to show you is parental controls. So let's click on the parental controls options. So right now it's by default, it's off. That means all the inappropriate, all the dangerous contents, they will be viewable to anyone, right? So make sure that you click turn on, and this one you have to do for each profile. So I'm doing it for child profile, but you have to repeat the same step for all the profiles, even the visitors. So visitors also don't watch any inappropriate contents on your network. Just click close. Now for the child, I want to set up the bedtime, right? Because it's very important. Otherwise kids might be using the devices all night, and that's not good for the health. Okay, click on downtime and click next. Okay, so what I have to do is choose an icon to help identify your schedule. So let's say we call it bedtime. Okay, click next and select days of the week. So now I'm creating a schedule. So I say for Monday, so let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So that means this is the weekdays when the kid has to go to school. or college the next morning. So you can select the days and then say pause access at, and you can decide, maybe depending on your family, right, the rules. You can say, or depending on the age of the child as well, you might want to say 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. is the bedtime on the weekdays. I can say bedtime weekend. Okay, and there I can say Friday and Saturday I can give some extra time, right? Let's say 11 p.m. and resume maybe at 9 a.m. in the morning. So that's the bedtime for the weekends. Let's close this. So now you know how to set up bedtimes for weekdays and weekends. Okay, so next I'd like to show you how to set up a daily time limit for the profiles. So click on set up an active time limit. Okay, so this means how many hours per day on weekdays and weekends can this person spend. So let's say we click on weekdays, Monday to Friday. So for weekdays, I will say by default it's saying 3 hours. So depending on your rules and depending on the age of the child. So let's say you can say weekdays 2.5 hours and weekends 3.5 hours. That's all the devices for that particular profile. Okay. So once the active time limit is reached, pause child 1's devices for the rest of the day. So click that enabled, apply changes. Okay, so here is the recap of all the settings for your child. So you can see the downtime, there's bedtime, and there's bedtime weekend, and there's active time limits for weekdays and weekends. And we have active time details on, and parental control is also on. So active time details, we turn it on because this will allow you to set up limits by each app. You can say, how much time they can spend on Netflix versus YouTube or some other common apps, right? Some social media apps. So you can turn this on if you want to manage that level of settings, but you can leave it off as well. But the main thing is to block inappropriate stuff and also set up some time limits and bedtimes. Okay, so let's make sure we also quickly set up the visitor profile. So all the unknown devices or guest devices, they also follow the rules that we set up for our internet. So click on visitors, assign devices. Let's say I use different devices that I don't know. So these are going to the visitor. Assign devices. Perfect. So let's go to visitors again. Go to settings. First of all, make sure parental control is on for visitors. And let's say you don't want to set up any bedtime or downtime because they have their own schedule. But main thing is make sure there's parental controls so the network is not misused. Okay, so for the home profile, let's assign devices that are shared by all the family members. Let's go Chromecast, this generic Android, and Samsung, which is our TV in the family room. So this means these rules apply to all these devices and not one person is using them. So again, the most important thing, click on settings and make sure this is on for all the shared devices as well. And you can also set up downtime, bedtime, and time limits for all the shared devices, but you can follow the instruction that I showed earlier in this video. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Thanks for your time, and I hope this will be helpful for you when you're setting up your home internet and your rules on the internet and safety measures for your family for now and for their futures, because these are very important limits. If you don't put them now, you will see the consequences later on. So the best thing is to start having these rules as early as possible. If you're using different internet provider, then all of them have similar type of apps that you can use to configure these rules. So till next time, take care.